Open the bag. Open. He about to bust his ass. Bro, I ain't trying to see this. Open up the bag. Look at it, man. That's it. Yeah, man. Lala. Look at him, boy. He got the bustle. Yeah. He got the bustle. Check the bag. Check the bag. Okay, now you get out. Now you get out of the store. That's it. Out the store. Bro, he got a pistol and you still got boy.
Seriously?
Yeah, maybe just,
I don't know. I have no idea who he is. I have no idea who he is.
Okay.
Seriously? Are you serious?
Please don't touch her for a minute.
Are you being serious?
I can't, she's freaking out. I just can't let you do that right now, okay? So just chill out for a minute, please.
Seriously? Dude.
She clearly is not happy right now. You gotta leave her alone and let her calm down, even if that's the case, okay?
She was possible. Stop. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, bro.
This happened outside of a car service center on Fuquay near Beamer Road around 1:30 this afternoon. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is there now with what police know so far. Bryce.
Andy and Lisa, this is a really active scene still and emotional as well outside of this family-owned business. You can see behind me several of those family members and friends, as we understand it, who are gathering here after police tell us that the owner's son died in this shooting this afternoon as both parents were here working, and this afternoon the suspects are on the run. So just to give you some context about where we are right now, this scene is right next to Pasadena ISD's Morris Middle School. That school did have to go into lockdown for about an hour and a half this afternoon as police searched for those suspects. They do say that at this point they have no reason to believe that those suspects went into the school. The school is safe. However, they did get called, like you mentioned, around 1:30 this afternoon. They say the shooting happened very quickly. This is what police just told us led up to it.
It appears that the incident is stemming from a disagreement. Our decedent was an employee of this family-owned business behind me. He had an argument with customers over a vehicle transaction. This argument escalated from a verbal argument to a physical one, at which point one of the customers that was involved produced a firearm and shot our victim, it appears 2 times.
A really sad scene again, and people still out here being interviewed. Police tell us that several of them are going to be transported to the downtown station where they will continue to be interviewed this afternoon. But police say they do have a lot of evidence to work with in this investigation, but they still are asking for the public's help. If you know anything that may help them get to an arrest quicker, call Crime Stoppers.
Birmingham police investigating a homicide in the Airport Hills neighborhood. Now, this happened on 14th Avenue North just before 3:30 this afternoon. Birmingham police say a man was shot to death in a yard while hanging out in the area by an unknown suspect. Officer Truman Fitzgerald says things escalated while officers were on scene.
We can describe this scene as very chaotic. You have a lot of distraught loved ones on scene. We've had a few fights break out. So this is one of those scenes where our officers have just kind of put on display the courage and strength that they have to maintain on homicide scenes.
No suspects are in custody at this time. If you have any information, you're asked to call police or Crime Stoppers.
Detroit Synagogue President Samantha Wall found fatally stabbed on Saturday morning. 40-year-old Wall was found outside of her residence in the 1300 block of Joliet Place in Detroit around 6:30 a.m. That is according to police, who told Fox 2 Detroit, our team there, that she was stabbed multiple times. Now, at this point, the motive for the killing is unknown, and no one is in custody as of last check. Again, this is video from the scene provided by our Fox 2 Detroit team. A lot of different condolences have come in from different lawmakers and other folks who knew Samantha very well. I want to bring in Michigan Senator Stephanie Chang to talk more about Samantha. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, can you start by telling me about Samantha Wall?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about Sam. Sam was amazing. She was endlessly positive. She had such a big, big heart and just the most beautiful smile. She really loved her family. She loved Detroit. She loved her faith. She was really passionate about social justice and equity, and just so smart, really creative, an amazing, supportive friend.
Group of smash and grab robbers stopped by a jewelry store worker with a gun. Shocking new surveillance video showing the robbers running as soon as the worker fires right at them, chasing them out of the store. Eyewitness News reporter Shayla Girardin live in Manhattan Beach with more of that video and what happened next. Shayla.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a surprise for those thieves. They went sprinting out of this building, but not before they got away with some jewelry, and the search still on for their suspects. Chaos erupting in a Manhattan Beach jewelry store as crooks break in, smashing the glass with hammers and stealing jewelry. The robbery happening Saturday afternoon at Prestige Jewelers in Manhattan Beach. You can see the 5 crooks dressed in hooded sweatshirts sprinting into the store with empty bags. Seconds later, filling those bags with boxes of jewelry as terrified shoppers watch. Finally, a store employee using a handgun to fire toward the suspects as they run away. The store was the target of a similar robbery in 2014. The suspects wearing ski masks and stealing several items of jewelry. Today's incident comes on the heels of numerous smash and grabs, including this attempt in August. The suspect entering an El Monte jewelry store and smashes, but is grabbed by the family that owns the store, running away empty-handed and shirtless. Just last month, the LA County Board of Supervisors responding to the issue voted to allow the Sheriff's Department to accept a $15.6 million state grant to support the department's organized retail theft task force.
Don't buy this stuff. Don't buy this stuff. And don't get caught either selling it or buying it because you could be arrested for it.
Piperton police officer is off the job tonight after being arrested for a strong-arm robbery in the Mississippi Delta. The Bolivar County Sheriff's Office says 46-year-old Michelle Washington was arrested along with 36-year-old Taiwan Johnson. They're both accused of assaulting and robbing a man at a gas station in Cleveland, Mississippi, early Saturday morning. Washington lives in Horn Lake, but has been employed as a Piperton police officer for 3 years. Piperton's police chief tells us Washington has been relieved of duty pending the outcome of the investigation.
We want to talk to you about some thieves who targeted expensive items like jewelry and heirlooms, but also took away a couple's trust. That's near Cinco Ranch. This is KPRC 2 News at 5. I'm Keith Garvin.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Daniela Guzman. Tonight, they want to prevent those thieves from stealing from anyone else. This happened on Norwood Hills Drive in Cinco Boulevard near Cinco Ranch, and that is where we find KPRC 2 investigator Bill Spencer. Bill?
Yes, Daniela and Keith, just imagine this. Last Sunday night, the Wilson family were inside their house. 2 men came to the front door claiming to be from their HOA. These guys told the couple that they were here to look at the trees the couple has in their backyard. They led the couple back into the backyard, and while this couple was distracted back there, this crime went down out front right here. Elisa Wilson and her husband James are making a list of the expensive gold treasures a group of thieves working in tandem stole from them over the weekend. So Elisa, what did they do? This is your jewelry box. What happened?
Right, well, as you can see, it's pretty empty. They just went inside, grabbed whatever they could that they saw was gold, and they took the gold.
Last Sunday evening, about 6:30, Elisa says 2 men came to her front door claiming to be from the HOA, asking to see the couple's backyard about their trees. What did they say they wanted back here in the backyard?
They just wanted to show us where they were going to be trimming.
But while Lisa and James were distracted in the backyard, this man, caught on surveillance video, entered the home through the front door and quickly robbed the couple of at least $4,000 worth of gold jewelry.
They robbed me of the innocence. That's what they robbed me of.
I'm so angry. I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. I don't feel comfortable in my own house.
This is the best video we have of the one robber's face, and this is the vehicle he was driving. Tonight, the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Department is investigating this crime. As for Elisa and James, they simply want to save other unsuspecting families from going through the same thing. James has this advice for you.
Don't open the door and don't believe what they tell you.
Other news now, police searching for this man after a woman was found dead over the weekend. According to the Worcester County District Attorney's Office, police were called to a home in Gardner, Mass. Sunday morning. Now, Mass State Police and local police looking for 33-year-old Aaron Pennington. He has blonde hair, blue eyes, 6 feet 2 inches tall, believed to be driving a white 2013 BMW with a Massachusetts veteran plate reading 8A30. If you see Pennington or his car, you're asked to call police, and police say do not approach Pennington because he could be armed.
Tonight, video of thieves in the Bronx stealing 3 school buses and busting right through a parking lot gate to get away. So who wants buses and for what? And where are they now? Cops don't have all the answers, but they're looking into it. Eyewitness News reporter Tom Negevin has the story.
New surveillance video shows the suspects early this morning loitering outside the Bronx bus lot. Watch them trying to look casual when the ambulance goes by. Eventually, they'll jump up on that van, over the fence, and then one of the short buses smashes right through the gate, the driver politely waiting for his accomplices, and they're gone, off into the night.
This is the worst block in the Bronx.
Yusuf Al-Ramahi runs a business down the street and says he saw them when another bus was stolen on Sunday. The buses are equipped with GPS and cameras that activate when they're driven. So yes, there's not just video from outside, but the crooks are caught red-handed behind the wheel. Police hoping you'll take a good look.
They are kids. They are kids. I would say they are like 18, 17, the maximum 19.
Inside the smashed gate, cops gave the remaining buses a once-over overnight. Drivers telling us they often leave the keys inside as they change operators. But Yusuf says the real mystery is who'd steal a school bus and then come back for more.
Yeah, we called the police.
Yeah.
At Sunday morning around 6:30, 6:40.
But after you called the police, they came back and tried to do it again.
Again, yep.
Now, police have not confirmed that they believe the same group is responsible for both bus heists, but they are working to track the suspects down. And if there is some good news here, bus drivers tell us it's this. The company actually keeps spare buses, so no one missed a ride to school.
It's been 2.5 weeks since the Hamas massacre of 1,400 Israelis, and Hamas is still in business. The number of dead in Gaza, nearly 6,000. 200 or so hostages still being held. High security at places of worship here, and so many people wondering, is it time for a ceasefire? There is so much uncertainty. Here's Jim Dolan.
Security was tight outside the Central Synagogue on the east side tonight as hundreds gathered to hear the harrowing stories of some of those whose relatives were taken hostage in Israel 18 days ago. For some of those days, Jonathan Goldberg didn't know if his son Hirsch was even alive.
In this crazy upside-down world, to get notified that your child has been kidnapped by Hamas and taken into Gaza was cause to be happy.
Each said tonight they want the world to stay focused, to not get confused about who the enemy there is.
It's not us against Islam. Like, Islam does not talk about, beheading, kids. They do not talk about raping women. Okay, this is about Hamas, which is the new ISIS.
Bring them home! Bring them home! Near the United Nations today, supporters of Israel lined the streets to demand the United Nations work to safely bring the hostages home. But the Palestinians had their own horror stories to tell about a relentless bombing campaign by Israel that has left Gaza buildings in piles of rubble, thousands dead, and hospitals not only overflowing, but running out of basic supplies.
We've just run out of almost everything. Yesterday, a lot of the times we had very little electricity. And the killing continues.
No one is spared. No one is safe. Where is the solidarity with them? Where is the empathy towards them? Where is the outrage for their killing?
But the Israeli foreign minister said today the attack on Gaza will continue and that it must continue.
The proportional response to October 7 massacre
is a total distraction to the last one of the Hamas.
Sues Panera Bread over its charged lemonade. The lawsuit says 21-year-old Jersey City native Sarah Katz went into cardiac arrest and died last year after consuming the drink. The suit claims the lemonade contains more caffeine than some energy drinks, but has no consumer warning. Katz had a lifelong heart condition and avoided high amounts of caffeine. Panera said in a statement it was saddened to learn about Katz's passing and will thoroughly investigate the matter.
Drug bust at a pizzeria in the Bronx. Investigators say they seized more than 100 pounds of cocaine, fentanyl, oxycodone, and heroin.
And as Fox 5's Lisa Evers shows us, this was all happening right across the street from an elementary school.
There was more than pizza on the menu at the Mozzarella Pizza Shop on Soundview Avenue in the Bronx. It's across the street from an elementary school and steps away from a toddler daycare center. In fact, it was a major drug distribution spot, says the DEA.
We're talking about over 100 pounds of various types of drugs, mostly cocaine, but also fentanyl. And we're seeing fentanyl mixed in all drugs.
DEA agents, NYPD officers, and other law enforcement seized cocaine, crack cocaine, oxycodone, fentanyl, and heroin with a street value of more than $4 million. There was also $40,000 in cash, glassine drug samples, and a kilo press. Some was in the basement, but other drugs were much closer to pizza customers.
This organization actually had large quantities of their drugs underneath the countertop of where they were selling their food.
We talked with parents as they were picking up their children. Many were stunned and concerned that their kids had been so close to dangerous drugs.
Terrible. Next to the school, man. it's really, you can't really say anything. It's like the trend, put it near schools, stash spots.
These places it's just like they don't have no sympathy or anything for the children that's around. Like that's horrible.
While it looked like a neighborhood mom and pop business, investigations revealed it was allegedly much more.
We're talking about large quantities, wholesale distribution weight of cocaine, of fentanyl, of heroin that is packaged and secretly concealed in apartments, in businesses for further distribution throughout the Northeast. And again, New York City is the hub and the Bronx is ground zero.